Greetings, Religion Think / Wayman29. This is a response to your video on your thoughts on religion. And so these are my thoughts on religion. From high school on, I've always felt that religion, that there was something wrong with my religion. And of course, it was always in the community aspect. And again, you've brought up the community here on YouTube, which that is a very important aspect of religion, community. The Christian evangelicals, I would say the majority of them, have a lot to learn from the Jewish community, primarily because of the Sabbath. The Jewish community treats the Sabbath as a community time, and there's much more time spent with the community, studying, learning, talking. However, I have seen that, with some of the other religions, like Mormonism, dare I say Mormonism, but they do spend much more time in the community. Typical Sunday service at a Mormon church will go from 10 a.m. to 3:30 or so. And then, of course, I think they even have an evening service or something of that nature. So Sunday is a pretty much all-day thing for the Mormons. And then again, I guess it does depend on, what these communities are doing when they get together, and what is the quality of their time together, not just the quantity. But there is something to be said for quantity of time spent together. So YouTube is great because we all have an unlimited amount of time to just speak our mind and bore ourselves to death. So, anyway, it's interesting. You talk about your use of the term agnostic to find yourself almost as a sociologist, in a sense, going in and out of different groups and trying to figure out what people are thinking, why are they deciding to believe a certain way. And I think I mentioned this before. Joseph Campbell, I saw one of his specials, and he said that if you're going to be a mystic, you have to be enmeshed in a religion. You have to be part of something. You have to be a true believer. In other words, if you're busy like Joseph Campbell studying the myths and studying the different religions and being very intellectual about it, then this type of person hardly ever becomes a mystic, is what Joseph Campbell says. So I found that interesting. And so I always thought about that. And the other thing I thought about when you were talking about not making a decision, using agnosticism to keep yourself from not going radical either one way or the other, almost in a very, I could say, Aristotelian type of way. Is that right? Staying in the mean, staying in the median, moderation in all things, which of course is good. When I think of my own, thoughts on religion in the past couple of years, I have found that I am free from religion at this point, even from Judaism in a sense, because I don't look at Judaism as a religion. I look at Judaism as a history that is concerned with a God who had specific dealings with individuals throughout history. So, in this sense, I guess I'm more interested in God and his dealings with mankind. And then all of these thoughts about learning different languages like Hebrew and Greek, and just always thinking about the next video that I'm going to be doing. I always have to remind myself that it's not all about figuring it all out up here. Having all my ducks lined up in a row. What I found is that I know that if for one thing, I know for myself that there is a God. But at the same time, I can say to myself, if there isn't a God, or if there is a God, that that if he created mankind, that he's going to be in the same likeness, or another kind. In other words, mankind is in the likeness of their creator. And what do we know about ourselves? We know that in general, we tend to be very good people. We tend to be very fair-minded. And so we tend to be merciful. And so whenever I hear individuals making a video about, so-and-so is an unbeliever, or so-and-so is a heretic, or so-and-so is going to go to hell, in my mind, it's never up to us, that is mankind, to decide who's going to be damned and who's not going to be damned. But it is always something that should never be on the lips of those of us who would claim to believe. We should never think that way. In my opinion, we should always trust that the Lord is going to be fair, that he's going to be merciful, and more merciful than we could possibly imagine. And so I'm going to cut it short, because I have been quite long-winded in some of my other videos lately, and I will be long-winded in some of more of my upcoming videos. So I'll just leave it at this, and I enjoyed your video.